Yeah.
Oh, what's going on now? Oh, the meeting is being recorded.
I'm going to read three poems by Li Quengziu. Forgive my pronunciation of the Chinese. I hadn't heard of her till I think last week or the week before, when someone was talking about her on a radio program. She lived from 1084 to 1155, and she is considered the greatest woman poet in Chinese history,
Wow.
hailed for her intense Dickinsonian clarity and vision. So obviously these are in translation, but so as in a dream. Remember that day spent on the stream, watching the sunset glaze the pavilion, so drunk we could not find our way back. It was late when we had enough. We turned the boat around and were caught accidentally in the deep tangle of lotus roots, rowing through, rowing through, startling from the bank, herons. Complaint against the prince. On the lake the wind arrives, sweeping ripples into the distance. Already it is late autumn. The red flowers are few, their fragrance faint. The water's light and mountains' colours join with me. No words could describe such endless allure. The lotus seeds have already ripened. The lotus leaves are old. Dew wets the water clover, the beach grass. The gulls and herons sleeping on the bank do not turn their heads. They too resent my leaving so soon. And the approach of a happy occasion. The wind halts. The ground is deep with fallen flowers. Outside the curtain, their petals are heaped, red and white. I've always remembered after the blooming of the crab-apple trees comes the spring season that wounds us. The wine is spent, the song finished. The jade goblet is empty. The green lamp flickers and dims. My soul in its dreaming cannot bear such hidden bitterness, or even one more cuckoo cry. There's three poems from Li Qingyu.
Really nice, but
And
it doesn't sound very Dickensian, does it?
no, Dickinsonian, sorry, like
Ah,
Emily Dickinson, sorry.
my fault. I misheard.
No, my bad pronunciation.
No, I'm sure it's
No,
fine.
I misheard it as well. I was expecting it to go on for pages and pages and pages.
It sounds as if it's not being translated very well. As if it's just, it sounded very, very ordinary, actually. So
Yeah,
it could be that it was ordinary, or it could just be, you know,
yeah.
that it's not, it probably lacks musicality. To us, it
No,
lacks
it's not done
musicality.
that.
That's the trouble of reading things in translation. You're never quite sure what
Yeah.
is.
Because poetry does depend on its kind of musicality to a certain extent, and
Yeah,
you can't really, English doesn't do Chinese any favor. I would have thought.
no,
You know,
yeah.
we,
I haven't read a lot of Chinese poetry, but it seems to focus a lot on place and mood and slowness. And I think,
Nature,
and yeah,
a lot of nature.
A bit like haikus. They seem to be like those were sort of like lots of little haikus,
mm,
compared to Japanese.
yeah, not necessarily that terse,
I
but
couldn't comment on
certainly,
whether she's the best woman Chinese poet because I haven't read all the women
No,
Chinese poets, or
in
indeed
no.
Chinese.
most of them.
Well, often there's things like the actual symbols that they use reflects what they're saying as well. And of course, that's completely lost in translation.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
Anne, would you like to go next?
Yes, I brought you some poems from the Foyle Young Poets because I thought youth might be good. So this is a poem by Anya with two A's, three A's, and got Jane, Jain. Nessie is a species of worm. She has feathery antennae and no measurable worth to humans. I saw her once under a flat stone by the Tay, where moss bled rust and the air smelled like wet pennies. She curled round a twig in not quite summer. Sorry, I mean late. I've lost track of the seasons. Gravel clung to her skin, slick as strained words. She moved like someone trying not to be seen, like the last of her species. So a stranger, maybe me, maybe someone else, tossed her in a loch, told tourists she was ancient, told children she was vast. Because Nessie is rare, and a human won't save what won't save them, so the stranger searched, from river source to sea, for a tray to market. Bioluminescence, medicinal slime, symbolic meaning, anything. Now she lives somewhere between a bedtime story and a spreadsheet. And we humans keep telling stories just to earn her the right to exist. And here's a poem by somebody called Zara Nurul Zah Hassan, and it's called Remembrance Day. The chaplain talks of men who died in World War I, of those who fell in Iraq, stepped on an IED, or caught the bad end of an enemy gun. Those too young killed by the Taliban in Afghanistan, 1914, 2001. Englishmen who died for their country and the colonies for the Commonwealth, as if the Commonwealth is some club that we all signed up for and everyone for God, to eradicate any enemy of good. Men who died for freedom, for peace, for family, for belief, for their homeland, for England, in Flanders fields. But in the chapel, staring at the stained glass, was that blonde, white Mary. I only think, we die too. We die every day. And when he reads out those names of the boys who fell from this school, this place where we stand, well, it's sad, but it only takes 10 minutes. How long would it take for him to read the names of all the children who have died in Gaza? He could never stop because they just keep dying. And if I can find the page. A poem by Kai Campagnac, or Campagnac, maybe. I hope war doesn't start today. Not for noble reasons, not for peace or flags, just because I want to walk past Thomas Waghorn with a cone on his head and not think too hard about it. Some things are funnier in silence. Let the missiles wait. Let the sirens stall. I've got petty things to do. I want to buy crisps for the train, then miss the train on purpose. Past people who hate me, feel their gaze burn holes in my coat, means I would still take up space. I want to loiter in London like it's mine, lean on Thames railings, thinking something that sounds profound, but isn't. Probably about pigeons or French films. There's a kid in Chatham who draws swastikas on his bus seats, still says thank you to the driver. A man in Gillingham who laughs alone sometimes fights the air. I think he's on to something. I want to see lonely spelt wrong on the wall near Iceland. Watch a seagull drag half a pizza into the road and win. Yesterday, a man on the Jubilee line cried so quietly you had to be really bored to notice. I noticed. There's a fox behind the bins near my house. Looks like he's been through something. He's earned the right to keep living like this. I hope war doesn't start today. I found 2 £1 coins in my blazer pocket. I planned a trip to the shop. England can burn down tomorrow. Today, my pocket holds exact change. There you are. There's 3 poems from young people.
How old are these children?
Young. They're the Foyle Young Poets of the Year, whichever year it was. So all I can tell you is that they're young. I don't think they tell you how old they are. I think that's a secret.
Right.
Well,
Thank
the
you,
prob-
Anne.
It's a secret.
yeah,
right.
the trouble is they keep getting older.
I know.
So as soon as they've written it in the book, they find they've had a birthday and it's out of date.
So they're not back in. Well, they could always say the age is the age when they wrote it.
Yes. Okay. Jim, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll read a couple of straightforward poems, and then and it's got 2 intervals, haven't you? Come the second reading afterwards. Is that right? Is that the way you do it still? You
Yeah,
split it into
one interval and then the second half.
Yeah, that's right. Right. Yeah. So, and 2 straightforward songs, poems. One is called Canterbury. When I first came to Canterbury, my dreams ran wild and free. Stained glass figures leapt from windows and tried to speak to me. Jerusalem was in my heart, the rapture of a cross, the pain outside my mother's arms, the paradise I'd lost. When I next climbed these ancient steps, I was with my friend Christine. The cancer deep within her womb had swallowed all her dreams. The cathedral was a Leviathan or a ship beneath the sea, and she was trapped like Jonah with no hope of being free. Once saints and martyrs sang with joy, and statues seemed to breathe, but they could not save her living flesh. Now stones no longer speak. When I last came to Canterbury, the roads were bleak and cold. The sky was like a funeral shroud wrapped round a woman's bones. This is my ex-landlady, lady, actually. A very imperfect woman, but I sort of, I really struck on her, really got to like her a lot. We both got to like each other a lot. I attended a funeral and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, interesting one. Yeah, and the second one is another one in that, this kind of, watching some old movie. I wish I was as happy now as I once used to be. You and me in a darkened room, watching some old movie. You clapped to see some cowboys ride across a swollen river. The world was always black and white when we were still together. I thought our love would never die, but love should last forever. But you went on your separate way and crossed that swollen river. And as the years went rolling by, I thought you'd phone or write, and I often dreamt I saw your face in the small hours of the night. When you lay on that hospice bed, you couldn't even raise your head. We talked about the times we'd had, the good, the average, and the bad. This life is like a passing dream, but memories last forever. So we still see those cowboys ride across that swollen river. I wish I was as happy now as I once used to be, you and me in a darkened room, watching some old movie. It's about the same woman, actually, my ex-landlady.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll read another one later in the second reading. Yeah. Okay, right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Morgan, would you like to go next? And welcome back.
Well, I wasn't expecting really to. I'm not prepared with anybody else's work. I've only got in front of me here a few short pieces of my own. I mean, it is a very long time since I joined in. I don't know how long. It must be years, really. So it may be the format and everything has changed quite a bit since I was last with you. It's up to you whether I miss out this time or whether I read these little bits that I've.
Well, if you want to read, you're very. If you have something there, then
Well, I just picked some things at random. However, when you consider, I don't know where to go really, but anyway, I'll try starting off with notes on Edgar Allan Poe, because he's another writer at least, even if I don't read his work, he's another writer to consider. Notes on Edgar Allan Poe. Desperate beggar, clever devil, had a knockabout life, ask commodity nobody wanted, prone to recycle, wearied by stubborn poverty, achieved death. Edgar Allan Poe by Kevin Silverman proves the importance of start. You cannot remove it. It is never forgotten. That was that. And here's a piece about me, just to reintroduce myself. It says, winter terms. The veins branch treely down my arms. My skin is wrinkly as bark. My slim trunk leans in the breeze. And many a dog passing's pissed on me. I therefore identify as a tree. Since you were on about war and the war situation, and we're in a very dicey situation at the
Yeah,
moment.
fairly.
It actually, I started writing a poem the other day. I started with 6 verses, and at the moment it's got up to about I think it's got to nearly 70 verses because these things keep occurring to me that but just simply fit in. The poem seems to be writing itself. So I'll give you just a taste of it, really. But it's about our current situation altogether before I mention war. It's a runaway disaster. Can't cope. So maybe the bomb will blow it away. Climate change, the whole of it, etc. And fewer to feed every day. Okay. That's just one verse after the 68. but I wrote that tonight, believe it or not. Watching Foyle's War. Anyway, that'll do me for the moment. So the next one.
yeah, thank you, Gordon. Nick, you want to have a go?
So there's a couple I've written recently. I shared this one with my daughter. It's called Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swann. And she knew who Tom Lyra and Flanders and Swann was, but she was wondering, she got very confused and said, why did you mention the tower? Because obviously she wasn't aware of who Joyce Grenfell was. And Grenfell for her just meant a tower block. So I thought I'd just explain that in case any of you are also very young. But I suspect I probably didn't need to. Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders, and Swann. If born a little after me, these names might mean nothing to you. Indeed, they were already vanishing from TV screens in my youth, accepting a few of their highlights on repeat. Their voices were captured in vinyl grooves. Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swann, laughter tracks learnt with each pause, precise and measured to perfection, shared by my parents, mother's favourites, Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swan, along with Muggeridge, Levin and Wicker, old and valued talking heads, still wise, if now they've aged and feel a little stiff. If you let them, your parents too may pass on a few, already out of date, not icons you would admit to friends. Like Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swan, treasure them closely nonetheless, and years later you may find their voices and even photographs bring you a little strange and secret joy. Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swan, recalling those awful times of violence and change that their humour wrestled with and escaped from, and which passed you by untouched in a childhood filled instead with generous delights from the likes of Grenfell, Lyra, Flanders and Swan. And this one is called Hypo or Hypochondriac. I no longer trust myself to know when I am ill. Should my tummy feel like this? Why has my hypertension faded? Can I trust the figures on the screen? What do they mean? Should I have another blood test? Will it indicate more causes for concern? And yet give no causes for those causes. Inexplicable statistics crowd in on me. I used to think examining a stool was a thing to do before you sat, to check the floor was level and that the wood was good. Now I'm questioning consistency, regularity and colour, seeking any sign, imagining deficiencies and allergies. Is a panic attack a bad thing when held up against complacency? My kidneys need a clinic, my liver craves an ultrasound, and me, I'm just a bit fatigued. Or am I?
Nick, you're the chap who does the Lecanter, aren't you? Or have I got the wrong one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got my email.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to the wrong place all the time, going all over the place. And suddenly I found I could actually get the free whatever very nearby, and it goes straight outside Lecanter. And I've been spending, I say, days searching for it. Yeah, and yeah, thanks a lot.
I think it's next week. So
no, it's a month's time, isn't it?
I think it's one next week.
Is that
next week?
I thought you did it every month.
Yeah, it's once a month, but I think it. Or did I miss it last? Was it this week?
Wasn't it yesterday?
Oh, I need to update my calendar. I'm entirely then. All right. I'm useless as well.
It's great getting old. You sort of memory, just short-term memory.
Yeah, I outsourced it to my phone, but if my phone's got it wrong, I'm doomed. But yeah. Anyway, that's me for now.
Right. Thank you very much, Nick. Steve, do you want to?
Yeah. I'll just do one medium length poem. It's part of a longer poem. It's a dialogue, as I think you should work out. Yes. And the title is Part 2, The Gastropub Again. I have some other poems, Mother. Would you like to take a look? They're based on ancient verses, but I've given them a modern twist in parts. So when you're reading this, you travel back and forth in time. Is the time? Ask for transport. Be a dear and find a taxi. Yes, I'll take them home with me, but only if you promise not to be offended if I don't approve. You know, I think you're foolish, but it's art that matters. Art that knows what life's about, and all of us compared to this are fools. Now go and get the taxi. I'll rebook the table for next Wednesday. Waiter, by the way. A week goes by and Mother reads the poems, then they meet again. You're looking well. Well, maybe not a little anxious. Are you sleeping? Are those bags below your eyes because of alcoholic drinking? Moderate your habits, please. I've read the poems. What I think is not the thing you'll want to hear. Excuse me while I find my glasses. Here they are. They're rather poor in places where imagination's lacking humour. What works best is when you mix the past and present in the verse. The past may just be incognito meter measured well enough, although you've not the confidence to break it up occasionally, avoiding some monotony, but this is offset by the mixing up of time, which otherwise would seem to be incongruous. Enough of this. You really should be writing more. I feel an awkwardness that would be lacking with more writing, not, I have to say, that I would read it. Though I could perform it if there is perhaps a part for me, a leading part, a decent speech I might consider, with the right incentive, get the press involved to help you out. But until then, let's concentrate on more important matters. Waiter, have you got a better table? When I booked last week, I asked for that one there, which I can see to my surprise is occupied. But surely you can check your diary. It should be unquestionably occupied by me. Please go and sort it out. The waiter leaves to sort it out, persuading two incumbent diners at the table under question that the upstairs room beside the toilets is more suitable. Make sure your friends are cognoscenti, know what they're about, the ones you will invite to this performance of your work I might perform at. Don't bring fools who think they know, but honestly, they'll never know what art is for. It has to have a purpose to it, not be aimless, autobiographical inconsequence. The problem with practitioners in theatre or other arts is this, a sense of self-importance, blinding all and sundry to the point of art, which is, excuse me, is it free? Thank God for that. This table isn't good enough, but that one is. The one I chose a week ago, if you remember. Yes, you do. I see you do remember now. I hope you have remembered, too, my favourite wine, Barolo, yes. A small aperitif to start with, gin and tonic, absolutely. Have you heard the news? That raving lunatic will start another war, and all because of his association with that awful paedophile. It's shocking how so many people get caught up in all this mess. They try their best to hide it at the vast expense of others lost in callousness. Ah, here they are. At last, I'm glad you've added lemon. Lime is nice, but as you know, a slice of lemon makes the perfect gin and tonic. I'll admit I have some friends who think the bastard's entertaining. What on earth is that about? Although you're writing verse for me that interweaves the mundane with aesthetical or political opinion in a witty sort of way, it doesn't mean I can't be serious occasionally. Complacency for human life is inexcusable. I think, like him, they don't have thoughts, they have a whim and like to act on it. For most of them, it's just a minor outburst at the dinner table, fueled by something they've just read or heard, whatever. I just tell them, do shut up. I know you try and talk, engage with their excuses for opinions, but you see, I haven't got the time for that. I'll leave the manuscript with you. It's annotated, critical, but still constructive if you have the courage and the wit to make improvements to your many verses. Let's have dinner. Where's the waiter? Here he is. That'll do.
Thank you, Steve. So does the rest of the poem go through the rest of the dinner?
That would be telling, Peter.
All the rest of the cabinet.
So you're going to give us another extract at some time.
I might well.
Thank you. And Mohammed, do you want to round off this first half?
Hello. Yes, I would like to round off, and it's good to see everybody. Good evening, and I've been enjoying everybody's poems, different types from all sorts of perspectives, and yet we all identify. Yes. So, hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? Bungalow Bill. Hey, Bungalow Bill, what did you kill? Bungalow Bill. Jim's music comes on on cue. Okay, so my first one is no Eeyore me. Make me not an Eeyore. Because Peter said if we didn't attend, we would be Eeyores. So no Eeyore me. Make me not an Eeyore. As precious light is not sullen or down, the cat on the shelf is bright and makes honeyed sounds. The no-shine onyx is not treble depressed or bland to the sight. I went to town to see the bouncy mart, and in the gallery spied the living paintings with their growing days and nights. Make not a puppet that sees the glad sun fail to fight an army of ashen clouds. Rather, send some bright fire-glows to my realm, magical and never illusory or loud. Crucify me not in a war without end, with lies and treachery, making me into an eyesore, like turning a jumper to seem a toad. You are the hand that can shape the dough, not the doughnut that digs pointless holes in a mold. I can't change myself, but only plead that you avoid making me a donk or like Eeyore, as you dig and erect expensive Persian tombs forevermore.
Yeah, I'm sorry about my thing going off. It was actually it was telling me that this program was going to start at 9 o'clock.
Right, you've got things straightened out.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Right, sorry.
Mute yourself now, Jim. That's the best thing to do. Mute yourself. Okay. So carrying on with my sounds. Donald Tum. In the latest news, Trump is declaring victory over the Persians, but is being held up by Xerxes and his army, which reportedly has not yet been destroyed. Asians are bothering our clueless intellectual jam jar, who is threatening Rustam the Great with being bombed to shits. Boy, oh boy, there are so many things he knows, as the viral Islamic Republic of Japan is stealing away his market. His dear friend is being left to seeing nukes flying. No beautiful Trumpy wall is making any difference since time began. Prices are high and zany, and Orange Boy is getting way overweight, with lying and should be banned. Why tout a buffoon who should be hanged by Miss Piggy? Okay, so that was Donald Tum. Donald Tum. It's a sound that I sometimes make. Okay, now, three tankers. This on the theme of Gone. Gone are the monks, the mountain pathway. Rip-rap hooves taking them to new temples. My prayers must find theirs. Theme, behind. Behind the scenes, the pains taken to see how drought can be fought by gushing irrigation or shooting clouds for showers. And finally, prompt, Marina. Blue Haven, Copenhagen Marina. My restful breathing beside the Little Mermaid. Swimming currents easing mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed.
You're welcome.
In the break, you should do a tanker on the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, yes, the Strait of Hormuz, yes. Strait of Hormuz, so that's 4 syllables already, so I can start with that, yes.
I just did that joke
Thanks
in
for
the
the
chat
prompt.
as well. Great mind.
And, Nick sporting a crown, Nick sporting all sorts of funny headwear. Yeah, that could be a subject. That could.
It's just my hair.
Yeah. Okay. Now I notice. It's a bit late, but I notice it now.
Anne, did you want to round off this half?
Well, I've got quite a long one. I thought I'd read it at the beginning of the second half.
All right. Okay, so shall we take a quick break now? And
I
come
haven't
back.
got anything quick.
Well, have a quick break. And then we
Yeah.
come back.
Quick break will be good.
Quick break. 5 minutes at the most.
Okay, great. Cheers.
So, Anne, would you like to start off?
Yes.
I missed something to read.
This is part of a poem by Noor, who is a 23-year-old Syrian refugee who lives in a refugee camp in Jordan with her family. And I won't read all of it because it's very long. I bring with me the voices of the people, children, mothers, and the elderly, to say that despite all the pain, we still dream of a homeland that is worthy of us all. I did not leave my homeland. It was my homeland that left my chest scattered into a small suitcase and a photograph hanging on a wall that no longer stands. From Syria, I carry things that cannot be forgotten. My father's voice, waking us for dawn prayer. My neighbour's laughter as she knocked on my door with a piece of warm bread, and the scent of the school where I once dreamed of continuing my path. All of that remained in my heart, even as I left with tearful eyes. When I arrived in Jordan, I carried a light bag, but the weight of the world was on my shoulders. The first tent in the camp felt cold and silent until I looked around and found faces that mirrored my own. Children running barefoot in the dirt, women trying to make a kitchen and a life out of canvas, elders sitting at the tent doors, their eyes fixed on what lay beyond the border. In the camp, I learned that a school is not just walls. I saw children writing in notebooks, torn apart by the wind, yet they wrote with determination as if education were the last window of hope. I saw mothers baking over small fires, proving that hunger can be defeated with love. I saw the elderly telling stories of home every evening, so that the homeland would remain alive in the memory of a new generation. Following years of devastating conflict, everything changed. The house was no longer a home, and the road was no longer a road. The destruction was immense. Walls toppled, streets erased, but strangely, my heart grew wider. I came to understand that a homeland is not only drawn on maps, it also lives in our ability to carry it within our hearts, to plant its seeds again, even in foreign soil, and to let it blossom anew. Today I am a writer. I dream of continuing my studies in law, so I can become a voice for those who are silenced, a defender of human dignity when it is stripped away. I want to write for those who had no one to write for them, for the children who are growing up in tents instead of playgrounds, for the women who build hope out of ashes, for the elderly who teach us every day that longing for home is not weakness, but a strength that keeps us alive. From beneath the rubble, a small blade of grass pushes through. It reminds us that hope is not a luxury, but a condition for survival, a necessity of life. That single green shoot whispers that no matter how heavy the ruins are, the earth still breathes, and so do we. I am here not only to tell a story of exile or displacement. I am here to say that a homeland is born every time we help one another, every time a hand is extended in kindness, every time a heart is opened in compassion, every time we choose to believe that human life is more precious than destruction. So return to us our homeland, not as it once was, but as we dream it can be, a homeland worthy of our tears, worthy of our sacrifices, and worthy of our ability to rise again, no matter how many
That must be
times
enough.
we fall. Does it?
Thank you. Have you got anything of your own?
Yes, but I only wrote it in the interval, so it's not very good.
Well,
How can Netanyahu live with himself? How can Donald Trump love himself so much? But maybe Netanyahu doesn't know where he lives, and Donald has no mirror which clearly reflects him. Perhaps we're really all like that, and choose to hate the others to hide the fact that we as well cannot live as brothers. Just a thought. At 9 o'clock.
thank you very much. Right, I'm going to read a couple of poems by Leontia Flynn.
Who?
Leontia, Leontia. Leontia? Right.
Could be.
The Pinhole Camera. When they had obscured the bedroom window with king-sized towels and tablecloths, and left just a gap, perhaps, or gape under the rail. Look, it's not a science. When they killed the light, the room was dark as night and August-proofed. And they stood there for 2-3 minutes till they saw the shapes and glimmers shivering overhead were not mere shadows. Hey, isn't that a car, a house, a passer-by? The world outside had beamed minutely through the blackout slit, distorted but moving and in technicolor. Here was the trick those old Dutch masters used, allegedly, and here their altered lives. The infant slumbering in the cot, the view, interior now, bewitched and upside down. The floppy disk. This is an old poem. Prince among misnomers, the floppy disk lies stranded in drifts of dust in the top desk drawer, a castaway on shingly paper clips or under an old bank statement. The small withdrawals dwindling to little, then less, then nothing at all. How young it is to be so obsolete. The stainless steel clip shines, the neat black case still sleek as a woman's suit or evening purse. I will take it between my finger and my thumb and post it with a click through the squarish slot of the oh-so-recent, stunningly useless past, the moment before now whose code is lost. The words that tapped and flashed like a frantic bird against a window pane translate back to the gesture of the hand stalled on the keys, like the spirit on the water. Like the shouts and groans that issue from the mine after the propers snapped. The floppy disk is the love note still sealed in its envelope. It's the marker, blank, above its own strange grave. And the examination room. The recurring dream of the examination room, fusty, familiar, strange with ceremony, permits small variations. A shaft of light may fall through the tall hall curtains from reinforced glass. When we're told, turn over your papers and begin, the subject might be Latin, the poems of Catullus, Multus per gentes et multa per aqua ocetus, or physics or maths. Through a haze of years' misuse, my tongue picks out the old mysteries, sine, cos, tan, like an awful ulcer. But my non-mathematical heart is now hammering wildly. Why do the girls sit on at their neat square desks like rows of cooling loaves? And where's the clock with the baker-like face that's ticking? When I wake, it's with blind hands creeping for a pen, hands through which, just now, time has suddenly stopped slipping. Leontia Flynn. Jim, would you like to go next?
Yeah, just as a matter of interest, before I start, I've got this. I just see nothing at my face actually, and everything's small above. Is that because should I put remove pin? Would that change it? Yeah, because remove pin on the left-hand side of the screen.
Oh,
Don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just seeing myself big and everybody else small. I want to be up there with the. So
Well,
if I
try
because
putting
you're
remove
speaking.
pin because
sorry, so I'll click on remove pin and see
yes,
what
try
happens.
that.
Yeah, okay. Ah, yes. Thank goodness. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Right. Yeah. This is called Beating Hearts. I actually write songs, but I can't sing at all. I've got a sense of rhythm, but not a sense of pitch. I've got no music. I can't play any musical instruments. So I used to send these lyrics off to songwriting things and all that. I did actually quite well in them, but I feel if I'd have been able to play an instrument, I would have been a lot better. And yeah, this is one of the songs. Although I can't sing it, I will intone it, so you get the rhythm, but you won't get any musical pitch. Will be useless. It's called "Beating Hearts," a confessional. She was a singer in a local band. She had charisma, people eating out of her hand. She said she liked my sense of humor. She said she liked my sense of humor. Oh, and would I like to be her man? Would I like to be her? Would I like to be her? Would I like to be her man? Oh, would I like to be her man? But there were problems. I saw that from the very start. She fed my habit. I said that we would never part. And she would always lie beside me. She would always lie beside me as I listened to a beating heart. Listen to a beating, listen to a beating, listen to a beating heart. Listen to a beating heart. But then she dropped me like a stone in a well. It was outrageous. She made my life a living hell. One day I lost my sense of humor. One day I lost a sense of humor. One day I lost my sense of humor. Ended up inside a prison cell. Up inside a prison, up inside a prison, up inside a prison cell. Da 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 da. Now I'm with jokers in a world where there are only men. They think I'm funny, a funny man with funny tales to tell. They say one day I'll meet my angel. They say one day I'll meet my angel, and I will make a laugh in hell. Yeah, I will make a laugh. I will make a laugh. I will make a laugh in hell. Da 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 da. She's still my angel. I see her shining like a star. She looks amazing. I said that we would never part. Now she will always lie beside me. She will always lie beside me. She will always lie beside me as she listens to my beating heart. Listens to my beating, listens to my beating, listens to my beating heart. Listens to my beating, listens to my beating, listens to my beating heart. Yeah, that's it. Right, thank you for hearing me out.
Another one, Jim?
Yeah, I'll do this other one. It's nothing to do with what I've just done before. It's Requiem for a Friend. Since he died, he's been okay. He does not pine or fade away. No searching for some midnight shrine where moths and beetles multiply. He pretends that life's a game, no fuse is blown within his brain, and he does not sit alone in bars as rain pours down on passing cars. But there's a picture on a wall, a woman by a waterfall, sunlight dancing in her eyes and unaware of her demise. Two small children hold her hand, and he can fully understand how photographs can ache with love and yearnings he keeps thinking of. He's past the tomb of truth and lies, in which the deepest pains confine. The body's made to rot or burn, and statues will to dust return. But when he talks with toxic pride, or hides behind a cynic's smile, he thinks about that last embrace, which hovers over time and space. He seeks a place where life began, a secret held by riddling sands. Do atoms know their source of love? As stars look down, the hourglass runs. That's my landlady again, actually. Same person.
Thank you very much. Gordon, do you want to?
Right. Just two more short pieces, I think. One is called Changing Tides. The tide, a natural engine, the heartbeats of existence, the eyelids sweeping, winking at the misplaced importance, with undercurrents, kindly nurturing defective specimens, all the way to the extinction of the species. Regardless, the tide washes up, withdrawing, taking a breath, runs again and again at the stubborn rocks. And this piece is equally short. I call it Truly. You were not there. You only knew that someone else told you so. And they were told by someone else. And someone else told them too. And so the told is told and told and told and told. Though something else might be true. Well, that'll do it for me for now.
Thank you very much, Gordon. That's good. Steve, in your fashionable beret.
Okay. This should be self-explanatory, but it kind of follows on, but not directly after. Afterwards, the poet meets another poet in the pub, goes back to his place, has a drink or two, and then the conversation carries on until the morning. Not that we're reporting all that was discussed, that would be boring, but the best exchanges in a moderately entertaining drunken evening. Anyway, my mother said, can you believe it? Yes, I can. I always thought your situation wasn't one I'd wish for, though the benefits are plain to see, the anecdote celebrity. But tell me what she said. It's this. My son, he wants to be a poet of the moment, even though his sensibility is not a poet of the moment kind of thing. He doesn't yet, but will when I have finished killing off pretension in his verses. The point is not, I've told him this, to be a poet of the moment, but to be a poet of the past and future anyway. He cannot be a poet of the moment as the moment's gone. It's clever, yes, but don't forget, although she said it, you composed it. Why not add some lines like these that further tease the meaning from the moment? And the moment's gone and never was only ever part of something bigger, like a minute or an hour or an army of exhausting seconds passing by each day, and someone always asks which way they went. They're over there, I say, behind the major stories of the day and general trends in politics. So, if we carry on like this, record our witty dialogue, we'll have a fine extension and conclusion to the narrative. Let's consummate the plan by cracking open 6 more cans of lager, chatting all the while to pass away the early morning hours. What the readers see will be a version of this conversation. No, it won't, you dreadful liar. Half the verses yet to come were written way back when, and now you've found a good excuse to put them all together in a plot that hangs together only just a line delivered badly, and they bite the dust. An explanation for the reader. Interjections such as this were written as an afterthought while we were busy editing. It's true I've added sections that may seem at times as unrelated monologues, or so my drinking partner argues. I would say that most of culture sounds like this, an unrelated set of speeches signifying nothing much. And apropos the mention of pretension in the poet of the moment section of your verse, the moment is for television, cinema, new media. The audience for poetry is minimal. The medium is message, or at least an envelope to put it in. The postage is prescriptive, but the other option's even worse, to send it on the internet and watch it disappear inside a galaxy of undiscovered stars until a telescope in search of affectation shows the world they're only bull of gas with dust and dross revolving round an orbit of their own volition. Some will say you have to be a poet of the moment, but the fleeting was in fashion with Impressionism. Now it's not, except for those who think the 19th century was yesterday, and I can see their point of view, and who can beat a decent Monet or an epic Dostoevsky in a century progressing nearer to annihilation, closer to oblivion than any science fiction film could ever hope to imitate. Dystopian imaginations eat your futuristic heart out. That'll do.
Thank you very much. And I see Nick's got his fashionable cap on as well. And is muted.
I thought I'd join Steve on the Black Beret horizon. And
Excellent.
also, I can quick change into a red beret and back again. But, you know,
Oh,
miss.
I prefer the black hat.
The black hat.
Yeah,
I've got several black hats. I could do the mysterious black
that's
hat.
very good.
Yeah.
That's
The
even better.
masked poet.
Or I could do the yeah,
No, I think perhaps
homage
it's the
to the Odyssey. Go for a bit of a Cyclops look.
No.
I think probably it's just off-putting, to be honest.
well, I don't know. Masked poet reading might be quite good.
Well, I suppose it depends on the poem.
Yes. So you're going to give us some poems, Nick.
Okay. So it's been a while since we had one on the subject of floppy disks. So if you have my floppy disk poem.
Yeah.
Floppy days, a stitch in time. Back in the day, we all had to wait for things to happen. For the phone line to sing the discordant connection song. For the floppy disk to rotate in its not so floppy sleeve. Minutes passing before you were asked to load a second one. Now everything's very nearly instant and so insistent, requiring no planning and no intention. I feel we were more happy then, when we had time to look out of the window, brew some tea, chat to friends or colleagues, and pass the time of day. Now there's only one time, one endless now, endlessly repeating now, 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 now. Search. It's supposed to pick up my next poem. Here we go. No, it's not doing it. In that case, I will have to use my backup piece of paper.
Oh,
At least I can close that window. I can see you all now. That's good. Excuse me, is that yours? When I drop my garbage, it's littering, not a cosmic crash news event. Oi, Elon, you're making a mess there. Hadn't you better pick it up, mate? SpaceX needs to carry its junk home, not pepper our neighbour with debris. It's not just your rocket stage, Elon. That's really the least of your crimes. You're sending your crap around the world, spluttering hate speech on X, on a non-accidental collision course with truth and with justice and morals.
True.
I feel like he was getting away with it, mentioned a few other people who are equally bad. and I'll finish with this one. I'm reading a book at the moment entitled Bedlam, which is about a year in the life of Richard Dadd, who ended up in Bedlam after he committed patricide.
Have you been to the exhibition at the Royal Academy?
I haven't, no, but I probably ought to. Yeah. It's not specifically about that, though. It's about Bedlam and madness more generally. Bedlam. Bedlam is not the faces at the windows, the curious and the callous. Visitors. We know them from the bathroom mirror, where they primp and powder to deceive. Bedlam is the turned-in minds, seeing wounds and hearing visions that silvered glass cannot reflect. A turning in, a letting go, and fish. Silent, monstrous pikes in muddy lakes. Silver sticklebacks in shoals, in streams that flash in sunlight, vanish in the shade. Fish that disappear without a trace, except a savage smile, a cheeky grin, a slipping in between the pages of a river that is itself a confluence of fears and guilt, wet, wild, and dangerously sad, and altogether other.
Thank you very much. Mohammed, are you there?
I think he's gone.
He must have gone. Does anyone feel the need to read another poem, an urgent? No?
Well,
No. Shall we declare this meeting closed?
Okay.
Let's do that then.
Right.